Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. I want to give a personal shout out to my good buddy, Jim888. He was sort of the inspiration for this video. Thinking about yesterday, we were all crowded around. Everybody was fighting over a drumstick or the wishbone. We were all having tons of fun watching football, eating turkey, and I've sort of wondered, what would it be if this was a year of the past, going back to like 1988 or 1990, going back when the good old days when the WWF Survivor Series would take place on the eve of Thanksgiving, or WCW would run Starrcade on Thanksgiving. I know that football is a big part of Thanksgiving, and I really don't know, looking back over my memories of past Thanksgivings, when football was brought into the mainstream of being a big part of Thanksgiving, with the Lions and the Cowboys playing each year. I can probably remember football being on TV, but never really remembering that it was the Lions and the Cowboys that would play each and every year. And if we even ever watched them, because we're not Cowboys fans and we're not Lions fans, and I don't really remember until a few years ago the Niners ever playing a Thanksgiving game. And it was what it was. But how wrestling would fare if they did a good old pay-per-view or just a big show on the network on a Thanksgiving Eve or a Thanksgiving or maybe a Christmas Eve or something like that. Is it just too busy these days to actually have a wrestling show during the holidays? I know that, honestly, I can tell you, with the WWE Network, and it comes to it, I already pay the $9.99 a month. If a show was on, I would probably find a way to watch it. Would I watch it that day? I can honestly tell you that I don't think I would. I think that I would get nuclear heat in my house if I was to turn on a WWE show during a Thanksgiving or something like that. Honestly, if I was over at my grandma's house and Michael was there, a guy who I took to a Stockton show, he's probably like 12 now. He's probably growing up like crazy, but he's probably the only one. He begs me to take him to WrestleMania every year, and I tell him, that it's a lot more than you think it is. Plus, with it being during school, I don't think your mom's really gonna want you. But I always try to make a deal with them. When you get a job, and you can pay for your part of it, we'll go. Whatever year that's going to be. If you have to wait till you're 18, 19, 20, it is what it is. I promise you that I'll go with you, and we'll have a hell of a time. I don't know. I don't know how wrestling would fare. I was going over my old Thanksgiving tweets, looking for old pictures and things like that I took on Thanksgiving. And basically with that, I just type in on Twitter, Stevie Breach Thanksgiving. And a few years ago, I had a back and forth discussion with Above Average Muda about how he thought that a Thanksgiving pay-per-view would do big numbers for the WWE. And this was probably 3 or 4 years ago, before the WWE Network even came into play. I think that you have the right crowd. I know that they always talk about the TLC pay-per-view gets a big bump because you always have people getting together on the weekends for holiday parties and things like that, and I just don't see how, in my life, if we went to a work party or something like that, that I would be firing up the cable box and pressing the buttons to order TLC. But I can definitely see if there's a lot of younger kids around. Basically, the kids are all, going crazy. They want to order the pay-per-view. They want to order the pay-per-view. The adults just, say, oh, okay, it's $30, $40, whatever it is. We'll just pay it. Just so you shut up and leave us alone, and we can all hang out over here and, reminisce about the good old days. But I don't know how a wrestling pay-per-view would fare, or a wrestling show, if it was a house show. I know that they've always done for years and years. They do the Madison Square Garden. I think it's on Christmas Day, and I think in Chicago on Christmas Eve, I think they do house shows there. I can't even picture the amount of nuclear heat I would have if I tried to tell my wife that I was going there. A few years ago, it might even be close to 10 years ago, the Kings played a home game, and my dad got tickets to that game, and it was hard for him even to find somebody to go with him. I had to turn him down because I just said it wasn't fair, that if I went to the Kings game with you, I wouldn't be able to have Christmas with my wife's family, and I wouldn't have Christmas with you guys, and one way or another somebody gets their feelings hurt. But so I said I wasn't going, but he ended up going, and ended up screwing up everybody's plans on where everybody was going, when we were going to meet up at the right time, just because of this stupid Kings game. So I'm sort of glad that Sacramento, California doesn't get these house shows, and no matter what goes down on any of these house shows ever, I can tell you that there's no way in the world that I'd ever attend one of these shows. They wouldn't be getting my money for a live gate.